Hello, 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 hello. How you guys doing tonight? I just made it home from Bible study and decided to make a video. Sitting here on top of my fireplace because I have this little step right here. You can sit on it. So I'm sitting here. I came in, I made some chicken tacos for me and Brian. You know, he helpless. He don't know how to, cook for himself or whatever. So mother's work is never done with him. I can imagine how his wife is gonna be. I can just imagine. I can just imagine. But I have uncles like Brian. I have one uncle. He don't earn his own clothes or anything. Like his wife does everything. So some things are passed down. So that's probably how he's gonna be. She's gonna have to, get him together before they go anywhere or whatever. But yeah, my uncle's wife, she earned all his clothes and baby, she got that little joker spoiled. So I just can imagine that's how my son is gonna be with his wife, like literally. So so bless her heart. But anyway, yeah, cause he probably if he well, I do a lot for him anyway. But if he could get away with me, earning up his clothes, probably making him like, how when they babies, how you put their clothes on them, paint the first, put the shorts and the shirts and all that stuff. He probably let me do that too if he thought he could get away with it. Baby, please. But yeah, Bible study was so good, guys. Like, oh my God. I go to the River of Life, Bishop Nichols, and I just want to invite everybody who look at my video out to oh, that was my fireplace. Um Out to Wednesday night Bible study. It is so good. I'm telling you, he breaks the word down so good because like I read the King James version and then I also read the NIV. So because some of those words in the King James version will throw you for a loop. Like you be like, what? So I will read both. I will read the NIV when I just really want to get a full understanding. I read the NIV. But I'm used to the King James version because growing up in church. Well, you know what? Actually, they did used to have a Bible that didn't read quite like the King James version. I don't know what it was called, but yeah, they used to. But then by the time you read it, okay, if the preacher's reading off out of King James and you trying to follow along, they used to throw me off. So I would just always make sure I had a King James version. But yeah, the service was so good. It was so good today. And it really helped me a lot. God knows what you need when you need it. And He knows when to send some clarity. And you know what, guys? The best thing about God is, and the best thing about the Word is, when it is sent out specifically for you, you know it was tailored just for you. You know, okay, like how like if people say things like if you're in a conversation with your girlfriends and whatever she's saying it doesn't apply to you, how you heard it but you didn't receive it because that's not what it doesn't apply to you. It may apply to the next friend that's sitting there in the group. That's how the word is. The word is, if there is something specific in your life that God is trying to reveal, that God is trying to deliver you from, that God is trying to strengthen you in that area, when the word comes out, that's the purpose that it was sent out for. And just like I was saying I think last week, how when I went, how he really just blessed my soul, and how, there are things in our lives that, there are areas in our lives that, like, you need deliverance. You need a touch. And some things, there are so many issues, so many things that I don't even know where to start to tell you, where to deliver me from or what help I need. But what I'm saying is, what you don't know or how to put in words, God already knows. And that's what I love about him. He already knows. Because, some things are just some things and some issues are just too painful to even utter. You know what I'm saying? It Oh my God, it's just But that's the great thing about God. He knows. He knows. He knows. You know what I'm saying? To okay, like our heart, we have um a top layer, and I think, if you go on down into the heart, you're in the middle, and then you have deep down inside, right? I think some issues are deep down inside of our hearts that, like the stuff that's on the top, I'm pretty sure it's not hard to get rid of. Stuff that's in the middle, with work, deliverance, prayer, fasting, it'll go. But the things that are deep down inside, issues and hurt, and if you've been molested, if you've been abused, if you've been mistreated, you know if you just feel like you have, just a bastard to the world, you know what I'm saying? Those are deep rooted things, and I believe those are issues, hurt and pain and grief. Because to me, let me just say, I don't think grief lives on the top of our heart. I think grief claws its way down, you know. And I think, depending upon your love for that person, that's how deep rooted that grief is. Because I remember years ago, I used to say, my heart is just black and turned around. There is no more, because I was basically through with love. Like, I lost my sister, I lost my dad, I lost my sister and my grandmother. I lost my dad December 23rd, my sister on Christmas Day, my grandmother January 5th. 3 people, and I lost them, and then it was just back to back. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't. How do you? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I am. I will never forget my dad. I will never forget my sister. I will never forget my grandmother. Those were 3 key people in my life. But what I'm saying is, God has blessed me to be able to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Death is everybody grieve different. That's why I said it just depends. That's the same. Like, and then I lost my husband last year. You know what I'm saying? And each grief is a different grief. The love I had for my dad was different from the love I had for my sister, and I still love my sister to pieces. And the love I have for my sister is different from the love I have for my granny. You know what I'm saying? And then the love I had for my granny was different from the love I had for my husband. You love people differently. You know what I'm saying? And it's oh, my nose. But anyway, it's just like I said, grief. I think grief lives deep down inside. And I just know God is just blessing me. He's really, really blessing me. He's blessing me. And I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be perfect, guys. If I get on here and I'm ranting, That's just what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not fake. And I'm not gonna fake. I'm not gonna fake like I have a perfect life. I'm not gonna fake like I'm perfect. Because the last thing I am is perfect. I am nowhere near perfect. You know what I'm saying? I fall short daily, but what I do know is I know how to ask God to forgive me. And I don't just intentionally go out and do wrong either because I know I can ask. But Bible study was so good, and I would just encourage anyone. If you don't know God, if you don't have a relationship with Him, let me share something with you. I purposely said I didn't want to have to repent and then ask God for whatever's going on, to move or to go or to bless. So I said, I'm so proud. I'm so happy that I can whisper a prayer and know He hear me. Then having to say, Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me for my sin. And then you have to pray. Because think about it. What if you don't have but a few seconds? What if you don't have time to say, Lord, forgive me? And in that moment, when you don't have time to say, Lord, forgive me, you can say, Jesus. He knows the reason you called Him. And you didn't have to say, Lord, forgive me. You just, Jesus. If your car is sliding, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? If you're going over a cliff, Jesus. And He can make it right, If you don't know Him, please get to know Him. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I have my battles, and my area is faith because I know what I pray for, and you know the area I need work in is faith, because I know faith without works is dead. I know it's impossible to please God without faith, and I just need more laying on my face, more fasting, and I'm gonna get it together. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be, but what I am is a child of God, and what I know is, even in a whisper, even if I hurt so bad that I can't get it out, He yet heard me, and for that, that's enough for me to stay a Christian. That's enough for me to be saved. That's enough for me to say, just knowing when I go to sleep at night, He's watching over me and my family. Just knowing when my kids go to the bus stop, He's watching over us. I remember before I changed my shift, I was like, oh, I can't change my shift. I can't go in early. I can't do all that. I got to take my baby to the bus stop. And then I was in the car and I just had this revelation. Why are you asking me, why am I asking God to cover them, and yet I'm still like, I gotta take him to the bus stop, Lord, anything could happen, I don't know, I guess we live in a nice area, but anything could happen. And I know that was nobody but God giving me that revelation. Well, what's the purpose of, am I? If you worrying about if they're okay, what is my purpose? I had to say, and I had to sit there and say, you know what, Lord, you are so right. Because I think God will let you try to attempt to be God. I think He will step back and say, well, if you God, you fix it, you work it out. Since you God, I really do. I'm telling you, I think God have a sense of humor. I really do. I really do. I really do. Because I truly believe God is the God of compassion. God is the God of understanding. I don't know. I heard somebody say that, and they was like, God is not concerned. God is not. I was like, what? That didn't even sit. It didn't sit well with me. As soon as I heard it, that didn't sit. That bothered my whole spirit because I'm like, I know God is. How is He not a God of understanding? I mean, how is He not a God of compassion? I don't know. People. But that's why you got to know the word for yourself. And like I said, I will repeat: if you don't know God, if you don't get to know Him, get to know Him. You know, get to know Him as your Lord and Savior. Get to know Him. That's what I'm doing. You know, like some people be like, God to make love to you, God to be your man, and I don't want God to be all. I want God to be my God, like my Father. Like that's what I want to go to Him as His daughter, you know, because you know how sometimes when you had parents, you had to run and just fall on their knee and cry and just tell them what happened. Like if you had that type of mom or whatever, I want God to be God. I want God to be daughter. I see you. I have you. That's the kind of relationship I want with God. But I'm not knocking nobody. No, you love and you see God how you want to. I see God as my Father. You know, sometimes I'm like God. I'm like an orphan. My mom has passed and my dad's passed. It's just me, so I'm like an orphan. But I'm your orphan. So, but I just have some joy, and it's just coming from my heart because God's just been so good to me. Even when you know, even some things that I don't understand, he's just good to me. You know, he's really been good to me. So I need you guys to subscribe to my channel. You can leave a comment. Um, Thumbs up the video, and just look for more videos. Just like I said, if you don't know God, get to know Him. If you don't have a church home, I attend the River of Life off of Hampton, but we also have a new building that we will be moving into in December. Bishop Nichols is my pastor. So if you don't know him, if you don't have a church home, I invite you over. If you don't know God, please get to know Him, because in your time of need, in your time of trouble, your time of distress, He is a constant help. He is a present help in a time of trouble. And if you don't know Him, you won't know. If you don't know Him when you're not in trouble, you won't even know how to contact Him when you're in trouble. That's what I would say. And I will get ready to end this video. I've had a wonderful Bible study. I've had a wonderful day. I just ask that you guys rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will look for you in my next video. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.